Hi guys, we're going to work on how to solve equations with decimals today. If you remember, an equation always has an equal sign, and that is the important thing to remember. Also remember, when you have a variable in an equation, you need to ask yourself the three questions. What's my variable? What are they doing to the variable? And how do I do the opposite? So let's get started with vocabulary really quick. A divisor is the number that's being divided by, and the dividend is the number that's being divided. The quotient is the answer. This is the poster I've had for all of our topic this month. So remember the inverse. When you divide something by one side, you have to divide it on the other because that is what makes it equal. Let's do a couple of examples. We're going to start right here, and I apologize the numbers are off, and it's because of the fact that they didn't give me the worksheet that I usually use for this. So in this one right here, I have 8y equals 5.6. What's my variable? My variable is y. What are they doing to it? They're multiplying it by 8. So how do I do the opposite? I divide it by 8. So I'm going to do divided by 8, divided by 8. So I have 5.6 divided by 8. Well, move my decimal up. 8 does not go into 5, so I'm going to put a 0, but 8 goes into 56. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 minus 56 is 0, and so y equals 0.7 in this problem. Let's look at number 9. 9 says x divided by 15.2 equals 3. What's my variable? My variable is x. What are they doing to it? They're dividing it by 15.2. So how do I do the opposite? I multiply both sides by 15.2. So I've got to multiply 15.2 here, which cancels it out, and I've got to multiply 15.2 here. So let me come down here and do 15.2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Now I move my decimal over one place, and my answer is 45.6. So x equals 45.6. Let's look at number 10. Number 10, u divided by 8.7 equals 12. What's my variable? My variable is u. What are they doing to u? They're dividing it by 8.7. So how do I do the opposite? I multiply both sides by 8.7. So I'm going to do times 8.7 here, and it cancels, and I'm going to do times 8.7 right here. I'm going to come down here and 12 times 8.7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. Put in my placeholder. 8 times 2 is 16. 6 and 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 6 is 14. 9 plus 1 is 10. I have one decimal place, so I come over here one decimal place. So u equals 104.4. Let's look at number 11. 11 says 31.4 equals 3.14y. What's my variable? My variable is y. What are they doing to it? They're multiplying it by 3.14. So how do I do the opposite? I divide both sides by 3.14. So I'm going to divide 3.14 here and divide 3.14 here. 3.14 cancels out, and I have y. And let me come over here and do 31.4 divided by 3.14. I move my decimal two places here. I move it two places here, so I have to add my 0, and I'm going to move my decimal up. 314 goes into 314 one time. 1 times 314 is 314. 314 minus 314 is 0, so I bring down my 0. How many times does 314 go into 0? 0 times. So 10 equals, or y equals 10 with this problem. Now, let's look at another one. I've got a couple of different questions with this lesson, and I kind of think it's a good idea. So as a classmate solves the problem at the right, it's really below. Explain his error and find the correct solution. So when I'm looking at this, I see, okay, 5t equals 6.5. So what's my variable? My variable is t. What are they doing to t? They're multiplying it by 5. So how do I do the opposite? I divide both sides by 5, but when I look at this problem, I don't see that. Right here, I see they're multiplying by 5 here and they're multiplying by 5 here, and that is their mistake. So how do I find the solution? Well, I have to do 6.5. Let me do 5t equals, divide it by 5, divide it by 5. So 6.5 divided by 5. 5 goes into 6 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Bring my 5 down. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 15 is 0. So now I have 1.3 is my answer. So t equals 1.3. That is a big difference compared to 32.5. And if you think about it, if I did 5 times 30, that does not equal anything near 6. So that would not work. Let's look at another problem. Right here, which equation has the same solution as d divided by 6 equals 7.3? This one is a tricky problem because I have to solve 5 problems to solve it. First, I have to solve this right here. D divided by 6 equals 7.3. D divided by 6 equals 7.3. My variable's d. They're dividing it by 7.6, so I have to multiply both sides by 6 times 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 6, 42, 43. So this answer is 43.8. That is my magic number, and that is the number I am trying to find again. So right here, A has 2D equals 87.2. What's my variable? My variable is D. What are they doing to it? They're multiplying it by 2. So how do I do the opposite? I divide it by 2. So divide by 2, divide by 2. See, 87 divided 0.2 divided by 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0, so 7. 2 goes into 7 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down my 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, so 43.6. Is that the same as 43.8? Nope, so this one doesn't work. Let's try another one. D divided by 5 equals 8.62. Well, what's my variable? My variable is D. What are they doing to it? They're dividing 5. They're dividing 5. So how do I do the opposite? I multiply by 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 1, 31. 8 times 5 is 40 plus 3 is 43. I have 2 decimal places. 43.1, that's also very close, but that's not the same answer, so I'm going to cross it off. Let's look at number C. C is 2.5 plus D equals 46.4. I'm going to do that right here. 2.5 plus D equals 46.4. My variable is D. They're adding 2.5, so I have to subtract. So minus 2.5 cancels itself out. Minus 2. Whoa, just a minute. 46.4 minus 2.5, 14.5. So 43.9. I don't remember what I was looking for. 7.3 times 6. 43.8. So that's not the same either. So let's try D. I hope it works. So it says D minus 15.9 equals 27.9. So my variable is D. They're subtracting 15.9, so I have to add 15.9. Okay, 9 plus 9 is 18. 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 1 is a 3, 13. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. Bring my decimal down, 43.8. Yay! I got the answer. Good job. I think that was all we have today. Oh, nope, we got one more. Eric paid a library fine for returning a book 4 days late. If the library charges 15 cents per day for late returns, which equation best describes his fine? Well, When I'm looking at this, I know that they pay 15 cents a day. 0.15 per day equals the total fine. So I know that to solve it, I'm doing 0.15 times 4 equals F. But they want me to think, okay, what's another way I can do it? So the fine, what they want me to do is they want me to say, okay, what do I know about solving an equation? Either I've got to divide by 0.15, I've got to divide by 4. And when I'm looking at these options right here, I'm seeing I need to divide by 4. So if I divide by 4 here, I divide by 4 here. And if I write F divided by 4, I'm going to do F divided by 4. I'm not going to do 4 divided by F like C has. No. I'm going to do F divided by 4. There we go. So the answer would be B with this one. I think we're done now. Good luck on your assignment. Have fun.